Hello students, I am back with a new video, Geography Lesson 1, Lithosphere, Endogenetic Process Part 2. Let's see the objectives. To know the meaning of geomorphic process, to know about internal process, to understand the plate boundaries, to understand seismic waves, to know about volcano and its effects. Synopsis, geomorphic process, plate tectonics and type of plate boundaries, movement of continental plate, seismic waves and its types, tsunami, volcano and its type, distribution of earthquake and volcanoes, effect of volcanoes. Geomorphic process, the branch of geography which deals with the study of nature and origin of landforms. Geo means earth, morpho means form, logy means study. So this is mainly based on the origin of land. These processes shape the earth's surface like uplands and lowlands. The geomorphic process are of two types, endogenic process and exogenic process. The formation and deformation of landforms on the surface of the earth is a continuous activity of two broad processes, that is internal and external. These processes cause stress and deformation on earth material and finally bring changes on earth surface of the earth. These are referred as geomorphic process. I hope till this you have understood. Now let's see endogenetic process. What is endogenetic process? The forces or process coming from within the earth and causing horizontal and vertical movement are called as endogenetic or endogenic forces or process. It is caused by the contraction and expansion of rocks due to variation in thermal conditions and temperature inside the earth. It is this movement which leads to land upliftment and subsidence, folding and faulting, earthquake and volcanism. This I have already explained in my previous video. The internal process generates heat and ejects material from deep below the Earth's crust. Internal radioactivity is the principal source of power for this process. Next, see the plate tectonics and types of plate boundaries. The lithosphere is divided into number of huge slabs of rocks called tectonic plates. These tectonic plates are divided into major and minor plates. These plates float independently over the mantle. Collision of these plates produce mountain ranges and other irregular surface features both on land and on the ocean floor. This phenomena is called plate tectonics. These movements of tectonic plates is due to thermal energy from the mantle. Now in this picture, the arrow marks are shown the movement of plates tectonic, the moving each other or pulling each other to form the land. Let's see the types of plate boundaries. There are three types of plate boundaries: convergent boundaries, divergent boundary and conservative boundaries. First one is a convergent boundaries. Here the plates move towards each other and sometimes the plate sinks under another. The location where the sinking of the plate occurs is called the subduction zone. Example, fold mountain in Himalayas. Here the picture I have shown one continental crust going inside, another continental crust coming upwards. Where this continental crust going inside, that is called a subduction zone. In this way, the volcanic mountain ranges are formed. Next one is a divergent boundary. Here the plates pull away from each other as magma pushes up from the mantle. Example, mid-Atlantic ridges. In this picture, the magma pushes outside so that the plates move apart from each other. So that is mid-Atlantic ridges shown in the picture. Next is the conservative or transform boundary. Here the plate slates horizontally push each other. Example, San Andreas fault. Here the plates are moving opposite direction to form the fault. Fault means crack. Next we'll see the movement of continental plate. The tectonic plates float on magma. Due to lateral compressional force, the plates are forced to move upwards and downwards. This is called folding. Mountains formed by folding are called fold mountains. The process of folding creates lofty mountain ranges such as Himalayas and Alps. According to plate tectonics, plates are in constant motion with an average rate of few centimeters per year. The movement might seem slow, but over million of years, the plates and the continents riding on them move a long way. For example, about 250 million years ago, the Indian plate was a part of the Gondwana land, which comprises of modern Africa, Australia, Antarctica and South America. Approximately 140 million years ago, the Indian plates broke away from the ancient continent Gondwana and began moving north to collide with Asia. The collision with the Eurasian plate along with the boundary between India and Nepal formed the orogenic belt that create the Indian plateau, in Tibetan plateau and the mighty Himalayan mountains. In this picture, I have shown the one landmass, the Pangaea, that is divided into two land, that is Gondwana and Laurasia. So, Gondwana is a land where modern Africa, Australia, and America is united. So, as the tectonic movement, these plates move apart from each other, and the move pushes northward, north side, and attached with the Asia. Now we have a present world like this. Now we'll see the earthquake. A sudden movement of a portion of the earth crust which produces a shaking or trembling is known as earthquake. The earthquake may cause widespread damage to life and property. The point where these vibrations originate is called as focus of the earthquake. The point of the earth's surface directly above the focus is called epicenter of the earthquake. From the focus, the earthquake vibration travels to different direction in the form of seismic waves. So here the picture where the earthquake start, that point is called focus. Point where the earth surface directly above the focus is called epicenter of the earthquake. The earthquake vibration travel in different direction in the form of seismic waves. Now we will see the seismic waves and its type. From the focus, the earthquake vibration travel in different direction in the form of seismic waves. The nature, the force and speed of seismic waves depends on the nature of medium through which it passes. The instrument which records the earthquake waves is called seismograph or seismometer. The science that deals with the earthquake is called seismology. It is measured in Richter scale. C.F. Richter devised a scale to measure the magnitude of earthquakes. This scale related to the energy released at the epicenter and provides an estimation of the severity of the earthquake. It is an open-ended scale. An earthquake of 2.0 and Richter scale or less can be felt only a little. An earthquake over 5.0 and Richter scale can cause damage from things falling. A 6.0 and Richter scale or higher at magnitude is considered very strong, and 7.0 and Richter scale is classified as major earthquakes. The highest magnitude ever recorded is 9.5 on Richter scale. Now, types of seismic waves: primary waves or P waves are the fastest of all the earthquake waves and the first to reach the epicenter. These waves passes through solid, liquid and gases, either through push or pull, with the average velocity of 5.3 km per second to 10.6 km per second. Here in this picture, the back and forth motion produced as the P waves travel along the surface can cause the ground to buckle and fracture. Next is the secondary or S waves. These waves travel only through solids. This transverse wave shakes the ground perpendicular to the direction in which they propagate. The average velocity of these waves is 1 km per second to 8 km per second. In this pictures, S waves cause to the ground to shake up and down and sideways. Now third one is the surface or L waves are similar to P waves, but they travel primarily along the ground surface. These waves travel comparatively slower and are the most destructive waves. The average velocity of these waves are 1 kilometer per second to 5 kilometer per second. I think you have understood till here. Let's move to the tsunami. The word tsunami is a Japanese word meaning harbor waves. It is described to be caused by earthquakes, volcanic explosions, and landslides. These waves travel at the speed of more than 500 km per second. The length exceeds 600 km and reach to the height of more than 15 meter near the seashore and capable of causing destruction along the coastal area. The 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake that caused tsunami is the sixth deadliest natural disaster which traveled at the speed of 600 km per hour with an estimated death toll of 280,000. Now let's see the volcano and its type. Volcano is a term derived from the Latin term Vulcan, name of Roman god of fire. It is an opening or the surface on the earth crust through which magma erupts out to the surface from the earth interior. Magma rises up and ejects on the surface as lava. They also form when plates move apart. Components of volcano are magma chamber, vent, volcanic cone and crater. Magma chamber, a large pool of liquid rock found beneath the surface of the earth. Vents, an opening serving as an outlet for air, smoke, fumes, magma, etc. Volcanic cone, a landform built by the magma ejected from the vent in the shape of a cone. Crater, a ball-shaped depression found at the top of the volcano through which magma flows out. Next we see the types. Volcanoes are classified and based upon the periodicity of eruption. They are active volcanoes, dormant volcanoes and extinct volcanoes. First one is the active volcanoes. Active volcanoes are those which constantly eject volcanic lava, gases and fragmented material. Example, Mount St. Helens in the United States. Second one is the dormant volcano or sleeping volcano. Volcanoes that do not show any sign for volcanic activity for a long period of time are known as dormant volcanoes. Sometimes there may be sudden explosion which may cause unimaginable loss to life and property. Extinct or dead volcano. When the volcano permanently stops its volcanic activity, then it is called as extinct or dead volcano. Example, Kilimanjaro, Tanzania and Tiruvannamalai in Tamil Nadu. The volcanoes can be classified based on the structure and composition as composite volcanoes, shield volcanoes and dome volcanoes. Composite volcanoes are known as stratovolcanoes, is a conical volcano built by many layers of hardened lava, pumice and volcanic ash. These are commonly found in the Pacific Ocean. Example, Mount Fuji of Japan. Volcanic dome. A lava dome or volcanic dome is roughly a circular mount formed due to the slow ejection of viscous of lava from the volcano. Here the word viscous we have used. The viscosity of lava is determined by the amount of silica and water present in magma. As the lava is rich in silica with intense viscosity, it is prevented from flowing far from its vent. Example, Pricotin, Mexico. Shield volcano. Shield volcanoes are formed by intense viscous lava. These are shallow deposition with gently sloping sides. Hence the lava flows out in all directions to create a shield. Example, Mauna Loa, Hawaii. Next we'll see the distribution. Most earthquakes and volcanic eruptions do not strike randomly but occur along the plate boundaries. One such area is the circum-Pacific ring of fire, where the Pacific plates meet mainly surrounding plates. The Ring of Fire is the most seismically and volcanically active zone in the world. Let's see the map. Here, the red color which denotes the earthquake prone zones, and the dotted zone it shows the tsunami prone zones. These are the place between the Asia and America, the Pacific Ring of Fire. Now, effects of volcano. There are two types of effects: constructive and destructive effect. First, we'll see the constructive effect. Volcanic materials enrich the soil fertility that promotes agriculture activity. The hot volcanic regions helps in generating geothermal energy. Many dormant and active volcanoes are the most attractive tourist spot of the world. Most of the volcanic materials are used as building materials. Now, destructive effect. Volcanic eruption causes earthquakes, flash floods, mudslides, and rockfalls. Lava can travel very far and burn, bury, or damage anything in its path. The large amount of dust and ash makes breathing hard and irritable. Volcanic eruption can alter the weather condition and disturb transport in and around the volcanic regions. With this, I conclude this lesson. I will meet you again in the new lesson, in new video. Till that, bye. If you have any doubt, queries, kindly comment below. Thank you.